I remember I would get the urge to procrastinate, get the impulse, and I would immediately act on it. I would get the feeling of procrastination, like the impulse to just do it, like to procrastinate, and then I would follow through on it. Every single time I would follow through on it, and then I would always obviously I would feel bad afterwards. But then the next time, I would do it anyway. I would keep following on through. And it's because even though procrastination is a feeling, I still followed through on it, even though, kind of deep down, it's a feeling. It's an urge, it's an impulse. But it's almost like I lacked impulse control, and so I just kept following through on it anyway. And that's what I want you to know, that procrastination is a feeling. It's just an emotion almost that you just feel in the moment, and it wants you to do something. It's just like any other emotion. It's like any other urge, it's like any impulse. If you get the impulse to like go play a video game, right? You don't have to act on it. It's just a feeling that you get in the moment. If you just ignore it or whatever, or do whatever, it will go away. And it sounds like great advice, like just if you get a feeling or an urge, just ignore it. But speaking from experience, that doesn't work. Whenever I used to be addicted to fapping, I would hear the advice of, if you feel the urge to do it, just ignore it. And it's great advice, but until you get to the actual point where you're in the moment feeling it, it's great advice. But then whenever you're actually feeling it, all your information, all your theories, all your whatever flies out the window. Like me telling you that procrastination is just a feeling, you don't have to act on it, doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything, truly. So, how can we take the information of knowing that procrastination is a feeling and turn it into actually not acting into procrastination? If only there was a way to actually train impulse control, and there is. There is one way that I've done it for almost a year now, and it's trained my impulse control. And it's small but yet massive in terms of reward and actually the results that you get from it. And it's meditation. I'm not joking. I'm not talking about the home like the monk Buddhist meditation. I'm genuinely saying just sit down somewhere and focus on your breath for a few seconds even. If you like genuinely focus on your breath, this is called mindfulness meditation, where you sit down and you focus on your breath for however long you want to do it. You can literally pick a few seconds if you're that like undisciplined in a sense. Like you can literally just put a few seconds just to get the habit of doing it. And you sit down and you just focus on your breath, and eventually a thought will pop up. A thought will eventually pop up, right? Even if you're like a master monk Buddhist, a thought will eventually pop up. And so your job is to take your mind back from the thought or the memory or whatever you're thinking about and put it back onto the breath. Essentially, what you're showing your brain is that if you have a thought or an impulse or a feeling, you don't have to act on it. You don't have to keep indulging in the thought in your brain. You can just take your mind back to your breath. That's so powerful because it's showing your brain that you don't have to act on thoughts and feelings. And so every time you meditate, right, every time you take your mind back to your breath, that's like you're training your impulse control. It's like in the gym, it's like one rep for your impulse control. Every single time you take your mind back to your breath, you're training your impulse control every single time. And so eventually, whenever the next time you feel like you want to procrastinate, it's so much easier to not act on it, because the advice of just ignore it doesn't work. Genuinely, it doesn't work. You can't ignore it because you're feeling it. You're literally, your whole body is feeling it. And so the only way to do it is to not ignore it and like pretend like you're smarter than your feelings. It's to just understand it, like comprehend that you're feeling this, and then don't act on it, in the sense that your mind is going back to whatever you were doing. It's so powerful, but it sounds so wishy-washy. And the only way to actually see if it works is to just try it. Genuinely, just try it. I want you right after this video, pause it, don't click on the next video, go to your clock app on your phone and set a timer for a few seconds. Genuinely, a few seconds. This will only take 10-20 seconds out of your day. If you can't do that, then I can't help you. If you can't take 10 seconds out of your day, I genuinely can't help you. You take those 10 seconds, you just sit down, or you can even lay down on the floor if you want, and you just focus on your breath. And the thought will pop up, and you take your mind back to your breath. That's the most powerful way I found that you can avoid acting on feelings. It's the biggest trainer of impulse control that I do. And you should start to see results. Not even that long. It's like a week or two. You should start to see minor results. And the more you do it, the bigger your results become. And the more you do it, the more you can control your impulses, the more you can control the amount you procrastinate. Because once you meditate, you just understand that procrastination is just another feeling. Just like happiness, just like anger, just like all the emotions in the world. It's just another one of them. And you can just not act on it and you can just go back to what you were doing. Or what you were planning to do, actually, with procrastination. It's genuinely great. I hope you do it, man. It's genuinely helped me. If you're interested in more, I offer free coaching in the description.